In your seat disco track. Leah laughed out loud as Donna Summer's voice rose above the rhythm. The vocals and the melody and the never-ending optimism brought back so many memories. Her mom dancing in the kitchen while she cooked Sunday dinner. Her father picking her up and spinning her around like the kids on American Bandstand. She turned the volume up and sang along, cruising down the street and away from Atlanta. Leah thought about her sister's little town nestled 40 miles away from the horror of downtown. 5,000 people tucked between rolling hills and a flowing river. They might not have electricity, but they would still have books and pianos and guitars. Music could still spread joy. Hope filled Leah's heart as she smiled for the first time in a long while. The last few days would fade from her memory, and the horror right along with it. She would survive. America would rebuild. She just had to have faith. As the chorus crescendoed, Leah cranked up the volume. The dashboard rattled, the seat shook with each bass beat, and Leah shouted out the words. The road rose in front of her, and Leah eased the gas pedal to the floor, forcing the Buick into the red line on the RPM. She almost felt like she was flying. As the car nosed over the hill's crest, a noxious smell hit Leah's nose. She snorted and eased up on the gas. A plume of smoke rose from the engine. The car shuddered. Oh no. Leah squinted at the dash. The engine temperature hovered in the critical zone. The smell of burning fluid and rubber and something nasty filled the car. A rush of smoke wafted over the hood and windshield. Why didn't I notice? Why did I push the car so hard? Every second, the smoke increased, obscuring her view of the sloping road ahead. She fumbled with the wipers, trying in vain to clear the smoke enough to see. The road dipped to a steeper grade, and Leah applied the brake. She'd been going so fast it would take forever to stop the car. She leaned out the window, trying to see. Through the smoke, a shape loomed ahead. Leah's eyes went wide. Something massive sat in the road, way too close and gaining. A garbage truck? A dumpster? Leah whipped the steering wheel, grabbing it hand over hand and cranking with all her might as she stomped on the brake. The car shimmied, and the brakes squealed, and she lost control, spinning in a circle as the tires hit something slick. The billowing smoke turned it all into a blind nightmare. She didn't know if she would clear the blockage or if the car would slam into it head-on. Panic closed her throat and sent her heart into overdrive, beating like a hummingbird against glass. The car tipped with 2 wheels off the ground, and Leah screamed. Throwing her arms over her head, she ducked for cover as the rear of the station wagon slammed into something solid and unforgiving. The metal crumpled inward, the rear window shattered, and the back seat buckled under the force. Leah's seat flew forward from the impact, slamming her shoulder into the dashboard before she bounced back against the cushion. Her head hit the door handle, and she screamed again as her whole body flew like a marionette on strings. Everything was spinning. The car, her vision, the world all around. This was it. She would survive a nuclear attack to die in a car crash while an 8-track cheered her on. Leah opened her eyes as the steering wheel rose up, larger than life in front of her face. The sound of crunching bone accompanied a shooting pain in Leah's head, and the music finally stopped. State Road 372, north of Atlanta, Georgia, Thursday, late afternoon. The cloying smell of copper roused Leah into consciousness. She blinked over and over, trying in vain to pull apart matted eyelashes. They wouldn't budge. Pain radiated from her shoulder and head, and her whole body ached. I have to clean myself up. I have to assess my injuries. The nurse in her operated on autopilot as she stretched over to the passenger seat to fumble with the glove compartment. It fell open, and her fingers closed on a wad of napkins. With gentle pressure, Leah pried the worst of the sticky glop from her eyes and struggled to bring the car into focus. The first thing she saw was the blood. It covered her shirt and pants and clung to her downy arm hair like a crumbling jacket. It was everywhere. How am I still alive? She patted her face with ginger fingers, easing up into her hair until a shock of pain made her gasp. A laceration, 3 to 4 inches long, split her scalp just above her hairline, and it's